stayed at the Mt Lassen Shingletown KOA in Shingletown, California. I love their little airmail box up high on this post. Their entrance was just very inviting. I liked all the trees and everything around. This is the check-in area, and they have hammocks out there for reading. That's the back of the check-in. Their cabins, this is leading towards the front of the campground. The entrance is up there, and there are more cabins on this side. This is our space, has a little privacy fence. They have a pavilion in that small grassy area. That's us in the background. They have this playground and a pool that's heated to 70 degrees. These restrooms are next to the pool. At the back of the campground, they had a nice 2 or 3 acre activity area. There's a basketball hoop. The dog park is on the other side, and the dog park has an agility center. Around the tires is a track for remote control vehicles. In the background are a couple of swings, and throughout the area are trails and hills for riding bikes. This is one of the hills for the bikes. This was a nice place to take Ivy for a short walk. There's a volleyball court and a horseshoe pit. These are the tent sites. They're nice and wooded and have some privacy fencing. They're a little far away from the bathrooms. The one set next to the pool and the other set is in the check-in. I've stayed at a number of KOAs, but so far this was by far our favorite. We really liked the atmosphere, all the trees, the cleanliness. It was just a great campground. We went to Lassen Volcanic National Park, which was about 30 minutes away from the campground. While waiting for the visitor center to open, we decided to hike around Reflection Lake just across the street, and we saw these deer on the way. There were also some Canadian geese and a nice reflection of the trees in the water. There's a store and restrooms, and the visitor center is on the other side. They also call it a museum, and it has some exhibits. We decided to hike the 1.7-mile Manzanita Lake Loop Trail. It seemed to be a popular lake for fishing, and there were a number of boats out on it. The back of the lake provided great views of the mountains. That little peak is Eagle, the middle one is Mt Lassen, and to the left is Chaos Crags. Next, we went to Devastated area to take the half-mile loop to learn about Mt Lassen's 1915 eruption. These pictures show the trees around Mt Lassen before the eruption and after the eruption in 1925, and this is what it looks like now. It's hard to see the color, but this red dacite boulder blew off the side of Lassen Peak during the 1915 eruption. It is 27,000 years old. This black dacite is much younger at 109 years old. It formed from magma during the 1915 eruption. It's also full of quenched blobs, those darker spots you see. They form as hot basalt magma cools quickly as it's injected into cooler dacite magma. Next, we went to Subway Cave, which is about 20 minutes outside the park in Lassen National Forest. The cave is a lava tube about 2 football fields in length, and it's very dark inside, and the floor is very rough for walking on. Lava tubes form when the outer lava begins to cool, but hot lava still flows down the center. The next day we headed back to the park to hike the 2.8-mile Bumpus Hell Trail. And we saw these deer just before the entrance station. On the way to the trail, we passed some of the devastation of the 2021 Dixie Fire. It burned 70% of the park and is the largest fire in California history, burning nearly 1 million acres inside and outside the park. We passed Lake Helen with a nice reflection of Mt Lassen and Eagle Peak. The Bumpus Hell Trail had beautiful views and very little elevation gain, We considered doing the Lassen Peak Trail, which was nearby, but it had 2,000 feet of elevation gain, so we stuck with this one. Bumpus Hell leads to a beautiful hydrothermal area. There's a nice boardwalk through the hydrothermal area, and it passes by Big Boiler, one of the hottest fumaroles, or steam vents, in the world. It measures a high of 322 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it for this post. See you next time.